Hi everyone, my name is Samara. I'm an ASU Art Museum Ambassador, and what a Museum Ambassador does is that we're essentially the first person that you'll see when you walk into the museum. We help you from parking to having discussions with you and conversations about the art pieces that we currently have. So yeah, and today I'm going to show you how to make a piñata for Mexican Independence Day, so I hope you enjoy. Our first step is going to be blowing up a balloon. I have this one that I blew up earlier to the size that you want your piñata to be. This is going to be like your mold for it. So yeah, that's the first step. And then you just tie a knot on it, and then once you're done doing that, you're going to you can use like a bowl or like whatever's easiest for you. I just have this cup where I use when I paint with watercolor, so it's already dirty. So I'm gonna take this cup, and then you're gonna need some Elmer's white glue. Doesn't have to be Elmer's, any brand will do, but you're just gonna eyeball this part. You're just gonna pour like a generous amount into the cup, and then like I think you can see right here, like I poured about this much, and then you're gonna try to match that with water, so like 1-to-1 ratio. And then once you do that, you're gonna take this brush and you're just gonna mix it all really well. For the consistency, it's kind of hard to tell. I would say it's better to have it just a little thicker, but you don't want anything super thick, you know, you want it like a kind of like an in-between, because we're going to you can use newspaper, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna use toilet paper to make like the paper mache, like the hard core of the piñata. So yeah, you can use anything, but I'm just gonna not anything. You can use newspaper, or you can use tissue paper, or even napkins, just anything that's really thin. I know it's kind of hard to gather materials right now, so yeah, you can use anything that's really thin and can be easily layered. So I'm gonna use toilet paper. I'm gonna be innovative. I'm gonna add just a little bit more glue, just to be on the safe side. So I do want it to be a good like consistency. So yeah, so then once you feel like you have pretty even like water and glue ratio going on, then you're gonna take your piñata and you're gonna kind of use this as something to hold it by. So then you're just gonna start putting that all over the balloon. Then you're gonna take some paper. And you're just gonna go over the paper. This can get a little messy, especially maybe if you have younger children that are helping you. It can get a little messy, so I would recommend putting down some newspaper or like an old like tablecloth, forgot the name, an old tablecloth to help with like the spillage, but I'm just gonna test my luck. But yeah, so basically you're just gonna go around the whole like layer of the balloon, and you're gonna do this so it starts to look like this. It doesn't really matter if it's wrinkled or not, but yeah, you're gonna start going around the whole layer and just cover it, and probably like maybe 2 layers of this. Also, you can like separate, if you're using toilet paper like me, if you have like a 2-ply, you can maybe separate it, make it a 1-ply, so it's a little easier. But you just want to make sure everything is really covered in this like glue and water mixture. So yeah, and then you just go all around and you do that. And we'll be right back when I'm done. Okay, and then once you're all done covering the balloon, it should look something like this. I did about 2 to 3 layers of the tissue tissue paper or like the toilet paper. I figured that like if you pull out a strip and then cut it square by square, it's easier that way to like apply it. Also, you can probably, like if it's a 2-ply, you can probably peel it. Like once you cut the squares, like peel it into a 1-ply, and that might be more manageable. But yeah, that's what I found that worked best. And now to dry it, I'm gonna just tie a little piece of string on it. Not very long, just so I can hang it up somewhere and let it kind of hang dry so it doesn't really stick to anything. And yeah, and then you're just gonna let this dry overnight, and it should be pretty hard. And then once it's all dry, then I'll show you guys what's next. Okay, once your balloon dries overnight, you're gonna have something that looks like this. And then you're gonna go ahead and pop it, and then you'll have the shell of the balloon. Now that you have the shell of your piñata, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to get some cardstock or construction paper, and we're going to use that to make some cones. So once you make the cone, you're going to want to make slits at the bottom like this, so then you can flatten it out. And then it'll be a lot easier for you to attach the cone to the piñata. You can skip this step. Personally, I'm going to skip it, and then you can glue it on there, and then that works as well. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab tissue paper, cut it into a rectangle, and then I'm going to fold it down the middle like this. And then I'm going to cut it, as you can see right here, to make this fringe. But I'm not going to cut it all the way up. I'm going to just cut it almost all the way up. And it doesn't matter if it's even. And then once I'm done cutting it all the way across, I'm going to take it and then start gluing it around my piñata like this, all the way down until it's done. So I'm going to do that now. And for this, I recommend using the hot glue gun in order to make it more sturdy. Once you're all done putting the tissue paper on the shell of it, then you're going to close off the top by just putting a thick layer of tissue paper on it. Then you're going to cut out a small piece of string, loop it like this glue it on top. Once you glue it on there, you're going to let it dry for a moment, but while that dries, you can cut out the piece of rope that you want to attach to it for wherever you're going to hang it up. Mine's more decorative, so it's going to be a smaller piece of rope because I'm not really planning on hitting it. But yeah, and then once you do that, it's still drying, but once you do that, you just rope it in, and then you are all ready. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoy. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of the celebrations for Mexican Independence Day as well.